Welcome back to another episode of Cram School, this time featuring Fox. Fox is a glass cannon being able to dump out massive amounts of damage in the blink of an eye, but when you catch him, he will get absolutely destroyed. At every level of play, Fox is a very common and threatening tournament pick, and a lack of matchup knowledge will cause you to not last long versus most Fox players. Fox's matchup spread among the top tiers is also very good, making him a strong character to have in your arsenal. The concept of dealing with Fox isn't a complicated one, but your understanding of the matchup gets reflected in your performance more than any other. I've gotten lots of questions about dealing with Fox. What type of playstyle works best? How do I DI his combo strings? Is Fox actually honest? We could ask questions all day, but I think it's best if we just jump right into it. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Come on!
The aspect of the matchup that gives most players troubles when dealing with Fox isn't his combos or deceptiveness, it's his speed. 1 minute he's nowhere near you, and the next he's popped you up and is pelting you with up airs. The idea of burst options in any fighter is a frustrating one, mainly because when players ask advice on how to deal with them, the advice is usually to just have a better reaction time. While this isn't necessarily wrong, many times players are weak in other fundamental areas, which if fixed, not only will help them with dealing with burst options, but will increase their overall level of play. Dealing with burst options in Smash will normally boil down to 2 points. 1, maintaining a certain spacing, and 2, understanding what your opponent inevitably wants. The most reliable way for Fox players to gain an advantage state out of neutral is dash attack and dash grab. Dash attack is frame 4, covers a sizable distance, and at mid percents can lead into up air strings. Fox's down throw, if not DI'd away, can lead into nasty combo strings as well. When practicing at home, figure out the range that you can reasonably react to Fox's approaches and focus on maintaining that spacing throughout the practice session. The tighter you can make this spacing while still being able to react to Fox, the easier of a time you're going to have while playing neutral against him. But it's important to always make sure that you're able to control your spacing and adjust it quickly in order to maintain it. Once this becomes second nature, even without improving any other part of how you play the matchup, you will start seeing massive improvement in your play in this matchup. Playing neutral versus Fox is very straightforward, but can be very unforgiving if you aren't patient and strike preemptively too often. Neutral against a Fox is similar to a game of cat and mouse. Launch too quickly and he'll slide right by you and punish you with a burst option immediately afterwards. Wait too long and you might just miss your opportunity altogether. He can also just simply move in close enough to where you won't be able to react to whatever he does. The best way to deal with Fox in neutral is to corner him so that you force him to commit to an option preemptively to get stage control back. Some characters are fine with playing from the ledge, but because of his poor disadvantage state, it's not a luxury Fox can usually afford. Fox players will often try their best to avoid hitting your shield, especially at higher percents since their throws won't kill. And being shield grabbed can mean being put into a terrible spot altogether. Once you corner them, they will almost be forced into choosing an option to get through you. Be prepared to deal with any approach that they may throw out and any attempt at a quick side beat back towards the center of the stage. At low percents, grabbing Fox is one of the worst things that a Fox player could have happen to them. As a fast faller, moves with low base knockback will wind up being unsafe on hit and often give Fox a chance to retaliate immediately. Moves with higher base knockback often will have longer cooldowns associated with them, making them riskier to use for fear of being whiff punished. Grabs are relatively safe to throw out in neutral and can be used out of shield, making them very dangerous for Fox players, so you should focus on them whenever you have an opportunity. Once you get Fox to a percent where you can reliably put him into tumble, focus on cornering him like I stated earlier. If you chase Fox around, it'll likely give him many opportunities to get underneath you and deal a ton of damage. Pin him to one side of the stage and make him fight his way through you or be forced off stage. Although you should already be doing this, make sure you're also focusing on your opponent and not yourself. Fox can move into your space in the blink of an eye, so making sure you keep that eye on him will make it so that you aren't caught sleeping and are constantly aware of his movement, and he'll never get the upper hand on you. There aren't many better feelings in Smash 4 than comboing Fox. This is what dreams are made of. You go into training mode, set the computer to Fox, select Smashville, and work on the nastiest combo you can think of. Even if the combo doesn't straight up kill, Fox's recovery is super linear, giving you an opportunity to practice edge guarding as well. Fox being light and a fast faller makes it so you can combo him with really long strings and still kill him at very early percents. Unlike in the Mewtwo Cram School, where I stated that focusing on true combos wasn't the way to go, you want to focus passing him around like a beach ball, the focus when you have an advantage state versus Fox should be to not need to get another one. Many characters have nasty combo strings that can link into death at very early percents, and it's important that once you land a hit, you know how to confirm as much damage as possible. Go into training mode and practice your combo strings, hit confirms, and edge guards so that you close out these stocks and don't give Fox a second chance to wreak havoc. It is for this reason many Fox players won't even attempt to air dodge out of combo strings. Many things are just simply true, and because he is also a fast faller, air dodging will also usually mean air dodging into the ground and getting reset into another string altogether. If your character can't straight up close out a stock on stage, they can certainly do it off stage. Fox has one of the most linear recoveries in the game, and intercepting it isn't that difficult. When edgeguarding Fox, the overall goal is to continuously intercept his side B until he either dies off the side or is forced to use up B. At that point, hit him out of his up B during the startup for a stock. Fox can either side B on stage or to the ledge, making it essentially a 50-50. You can float and pressure him into choosing a specific option, but once you hit him the first time, it becomes significantly easier each time after to repeatedly hit his side B, especially if you take his jump. The important thing, however, about edgeguarding Fox is to simply be ruthless. It is his most vulnerable state, and if Fox chooses to fight back while trying to recover, he will often put himself in a perilous position or just straight up SD. Go hard off stage and close out that stock. So unlike the advantage state, this part is what nightmares are made of. Eventually, you're going to slip up or get caught by one of Fox's combo starters and get caught up in the Fox vortex. The most important thing in this situation is to mitigate the damage and DI away from platforms. Fox can string a ton of damage together, but he can also frame trap you into the same thing, which is what makes his advantage state so scary. The best thing you can do when practicing against Fox in friendlies is to not air dodge up air strings to see what percents these combo strings will just simply end up killing. The main thing that keeps people in disadvantage versus Fox is air dodging and getting wrapped into additional strings, and a lot of the time the best response is to actually just get hit by a combo string and fade away to the ledge. By understanding what percents are fatal, you can opt to just eat damage to reset your position instead of trying to slide out of the combo strings with air dodges in general. As for what you do when you're getting hit by the moves, the general Fox vortex is up tilt to up air. If you air dodge the up air, they'll follow your DI and up tilt you again to pop you back up for another potential up air. If you don't air dodge the up air, they'll chain together as many up airs as possible after the up tilt. Make sure to DI Fox up tilt towards his front. This will reduce the length of the vortex significantly, as well as putting you lower to the ceiling to prevent an early up air kill confirmed. If at any time Fox has to double jump to connect an up air and cannot land on a platform nearby to continue his string, make sure to air dodge the up air if you can. Fox won't be able to trap you unless you fall into him when landing. When attempting to find a way down, try to wait to throw out hitboxes until Fox actually jumps. This prevents yourself from falling into a shield and just simply being popped back up for another ride in the Fox vortex. Fox's aerial mobility is fairly low, so drifting away from him, even off stage if you have to, makes him have to commit to an option if he really wants to punish. A lot of the time when you get hit, something is going to be guaranteed. Your goal is to not get vortex and limit the amount of damage you take. Fox has a lot of trouble killing opponents that hide and shield at high percents, which is why I recommended figuring out how far you can go without air dodging. Once you get a feel for what's true and what's not, and what position air dodging will put you into, you will find yourself spending much less time at disadvantage and living till higher percents. Fox is a pretty straightforward character, but there are a few things that can make or break a set if you aren't prepared. Firstly, fair to footstool. It can close out stocks as early as 0%, and if you aren't constantly wary of it, could cost you a set. At low percents, don't air dodge near the ledge. Many Fox players look for this as a cue after dashing up to line themselves up with you and go for it, and if you don't give them this cue in the first place, they won't go for it in general. If you do end up getting hit by this combo, make sure that you don't jump into the footstool and waste your double jump when trying to recover from it. The setup is deadly in general, but not having your double jump when trying to recover makes it significantly worse. If it's gonna take the stock, jumping to avoid getting footstool won't prevent it. Secondly, watch for up tilt Firefox instead of up tilt up air. With higher base knockback, it can kill at percents much earlier than up air with rage. Assuming you won't panic air dodge, since you're going to learn the conditions where the Fox strings are lethal, you will have plenty of time to react to this if the need arises. Third, Fox can slow his descent with Shine to stall his recovery and landing. Always take this into consideration when juggling and edgeguarding him so he doesn't simply slide past you. Lastly, watch for low side Bs in neutral as a combo starter. At high percents, it can combo into up air, also known as the Sakurai combo, but if you're prepared, you can punish it heavily.
Mission complete!
So that about wraps it up. Fox is a character that once they get momentum, it's hard to stop, but once they lose it, it's hard to pick it back up. Playing solidly throughout the entire set is the best way to prevent this snowball from rolling and your tournament bracket alive. As always, I'm never going to include everything, but that just means there's always more to learn and study. I'll link the Twitters of a bunch of prominent Fox players in the description so that if you're seeking additional knowledge, you can always interact with them as well. If you haven't already figured it out, the pattern for these have been one character that I choose and then one character that you all vote on. However, I'm not going to do a vote this time as I have a pretty strong idea what the results will be anyway. A certain spider monkey seems to be giving many of you trouble, so I'll just skip straight to it and do Diddy for the next Cram School video. As for the next thing I put out, however, I know you all have probably seen quite a few of them already, but I really want to do a recap of the 2GGC Civil War from my perspective. So much happened and I really want to share it with you guys. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like below, and for other Cram School videos or just more content in general, don't forget to subscribe and check out the rest of my channel. As always, I love you guys, keep studying, and I'll see you all next time.